Python provides a variety of built-in data structures that serve different purposes, and they have different characteristics, of course. So let's dive into each of these data structures, and let's see how they work. So basically, we have discussed numbers and strings. We're going to dive into numbers and strings in depth in the future. But let's quickly talk about lists, right? So what exactly is a list in Python? A list is an ordered collection of items. These items can store elements of different data types, and the elements can be accessed using indexes. Lists are mutable, which means you can modify their contents. You can add, remove, or change elements after creation. So I'm going to give an example here. We have a list. Let's call this my list. And I'm going to say this equals, we have 1, we have Apple, for example. We have 3.142. So this is, just to make you understand that you can basically have different types, right, inside the list. Of course, you can also have like a single type. You can say a list of fruits, where you can have apple, you can have orange, you can have let's say you have okay, I mean this, let's just say we have grapes. So this is okay. So you see we have like grapes, orange, apple, right, in the list of fruits. So you can also have a list containing just numbers, right? This is basically how you work with a list. And when working with a list, of course, you can basically perform operations such as adding or removing or even changing elements within that list. So we'll talk about this in depth in the next couple of videos. We also have tuples, right? So we have tuples. Now a tuple is a data structure. It works just like a list, but the major difference is that it is immutable, right? Which means you cannot change the values in the tuple after you have initialized and created those values. All right. So let's say we have an example here. We have like names. So when declaring a list, remember we use the square brackets. When declaring a tuple, you have to use the regular bracket we have right here, and then we have like the names again. So now let's just say we have Marv, we have John, right, and we have Mark. Okay. So now these names, you cannot change the value, right? In the next video, we'll definitely talk about this as well. Okay. But you cannot change the value. You also have dictionaries, right? You have dictionaries. So a dictionary is simply a key value pair, right? So let's say we have a user, for example. A user should have a name, right? And let's say this is John Doe. And then this user also have like a department. And let's just say IT, right? So, and maybe one last thing, we can have age, right? And we can simply say 50. Okay, so this is a user, right, with key value pairs. So we have the key of name with the value of John Doe, the key of department has the value of IT, and the key of age has the value of 50, right? And of course, you can simply print this, let's take a look at this. If I open up my terminal, I can simply execute python app.py, and I'm going to see the dictionary printed in my terminal, right? Which means I can of course say I want to grab the item, with the key name, right? So it's going to give me John Doe just like this. Anyways, we'll look at this, in the future. We have the sets, right? So a set in Python, a set is a simple data structure that of course also has the same it works like a list, but the difference here is that when working with a set, you cannot have duplicates, right? So in a regular list, right, this is a list. In a regular list, we could actually do something like Marv. We could have Marv again, right, and we could have Mark, just like this. All right. So if we go ahead and print names, of course, you're going to see like Marv, Mark, right? We see we have a duplicate here. What you're going to see, since this is a set, what you're going to get from here, you see that the item Marv, the duplicate was removed, right? Okay, so Of course, you can see, yeah, it was removed, and this is not following the exact order, that we used in creating this, because it's actually unordered, right? So it can actually, change. Um, so it is not ordered like, like your list. All right. Okay. So in the next couple of videos, we're going to be uh, talking about these items one after the other. I would kick off with numbers in Python. I would talk about numbers in Python again. We'll talk about strings, we'll talk about booleans, talk about constants before we even get to these data structures in depth. All right, so I'll see you in the next video.